Well, it was Bob's second bar. He was originally on Market and Spruce, no, Market and Mulberry. Then he moved up the hill, Lehman's old bar, and he was there for years and years. I don't even remember. It was a hangout for all the teachers. Well, mostly all walks of life were in there. I was up there more than him. We worked for Jones Bingo in the summer and would go traveling with carnivals, bingo. It was good money. We were young. We didn't give a shit about anything. I shouldn't say that stuff. Okay. It started out a neighborhood bar, but it got so popular between Bob, my older sister Nancy, with her friends, with Bob's friends, me. I had a ton of friends, and everybody used to loaf up there. The teachers used to come down because it was the first bar off the hill coming down from up back there. It used to get crowded after school and after work. Everybody used to go out and hang out. Then he had his dart teams and his pool teams and baseball teams. Just a good place to hang out. The only thing, we used to collect clown pictures for him. And they used to call it the Clown Bar because it was all full of clown pictures. A little throwback from when we used to travel on the road with Jones Bingo. When he got out of high school, he was gone from Shamokin. I mean, he used to come home visit, but he was working in York, and he had this Thunderbird convertible with the hard top that would fold into the trunk. He was going back to York one time, and I think out around Trevor Road, he got in an accident, demolished it, and he spent a while in a hospital. You know, he messed up his whole face and everything. Anyway, he lost his job down in York, so he got hired by Independence Fire Company to run the Independence Fire Company. And from there, he wanted to go in business for himself. He took over Wallick's Bar up on Market Street, Market and Mulberry, and he was only renting from Wallick's there, Harry Wallick, who was the prothonotary at the time. And from there, this bar up the street, 3 blocks up the street, come up for sale, and so he purchased that place, and that's the story of Eckman's beginning. Bob and I used to sponsor a team, Eckman Brothers. I probably still have a shirt around here someplace that says it. Bob was quite the outdoorsman. He liked to hunt and fish and stuff like that, and drink. We all liked to drink back then. It's funny how it changes as you get older. You get away from that. There was always something going on. I don't know if you ever heard of George Phobia. He used to play up there on the weekends, and it would get packed in there. Saturdays for college games, it used to be 3 deep around the bar. And it was a pretty big bar. It was a big oval bar. Even during the week, with different things, there's something always was going on. And it got crowded. There was, like I said, he had a crowd. And it seemed the nastier the weather, the more crowded the bar would get. It could be snowing 16 inches of snow outside, and they were walking to it. Well, back then, the cops were a little more lenient. I mean, they say, if you're drunk, park that car, give me the keys. I'll give them to you tomorrow at the police station. Or his buddy would give you a ride home. He'd take the police car. They were easy. Now, they can't wait to arrest you. As I get out of high school, I kind of left this area myself for a while. Then come back and got married to her mother. We lasted about 10 years. Oh, yeah, always come back. Yeah. Yeah, that's something about this place.
Yeah. Okay, my name's Phawn Eckman. Bob Eckman, of course, was my uncle, my godfather. Tom, you just saw as my father. I've been a resident of Shamokin, this area, for a while. I used to live for 15 years down the Shippensburg area, Chambersburg area. Okay. I spent 4 years in Vermont, and I was a year and a half out in West Yellowstone, and I came back to the area. So we all return. And we used to stay over a lot with my cousins. We'd be upstairs with our sleeping bags on the floor, and we could always hear the music downstairs, and we always knew it was closing time when we would hear New York, New York by Frank Sinatra, because it was his last call. My grandmother would be there. They had a dog, Abby, a black lab, that would wander around the bar all the time. She was always a fixture. We were always in and out. During the daytime, my parents would take us over there. He'd take us over, and he's talking about George Phobia. I remember being 4, and it was my birthday, and George sang happy birthday to me. He was up there playing. You know, it was a neat place. I remember it was all red. I don't know if he did any of the clown paintings. He was a painter. He used to like to paint. That was one of his hobbies. He liked foraging mushrooms. He loved gardening. He always had outside the bar in their apartment. He always had like tomato plants and things on the side. I remember he had one of those things above the bar with the glasses hanging upside down, and there was a shuffleboard game off to the side, and then there was against the wall before you went through to the back, there was a jukebox there. Well, I would clean the bar, like on my cousin Kelly would clean the bar sometimes if I was out there hanging out. She'd be like, you want to clean a bar with me? And we'd go down and we'd clean the bar. We'd like wash glasses and clean. I wouldn't do that. She would go over to she'd go over to the tap and put her mouth underneath, and I knew like there were fruit flies up there, you know. So I don't know how many fruit flies she swallowed, but you know, we just shine the bar up and clean, you know, sweep, clean the bathrooms, you know, just kind of straighten the place up. Nice. Yeah, so never got paid for it. It was just fun work, you know, but we hung out there. I remember there was a trapdoor basement, had a black and white checkered floor, and I remember when Abby had her puppies, everybody was going in to see the puppies. He had the floor up, lifted up, and she was down there nursing them all.
Nice.
I would get bored with the other kids, and I would go upstairs and sit in his chair. He had a big leather recliner there, and he had a nutcracker, one of those crank ones with the bowl, and he had all these history books. And I'd be pulling out books and sitting there reading them. And I remember one time he came in, he surprised me. He's like, "Oh, no." He's like, here's a better one." He'd go get me another book and hand me that. "Try this one. This is a better." But he always, you know, I credit him with, you know, developing my reading as a kid, because he would always leave copies of National Geographic at my Gram's, and he would buy her subscriptions to like Reader's Digest and stuff like that. So she always had that stuff sitting around. He always made sure there was reading material.
That's great.
You know, yeah, I had a lot in common with them, you know, because I was artistic and like gardening and all that. So, you know, but he's my godfather. Yes, I have fond memories.
Yeah.